I agree. I don't like the fact that Reira wasn't held accountable for sleeping with Sheen. But I also feel like this happens a lot more than we think or than we may know, especially even when it comes to women, right? Because there is a double standard when it comes to, abuse, grooming, all that kind of stuff when it comes to women, because women are not looked at as abusers. They looked at as nurturers and, innocent and this, that, and the third. And I feel like in this manga specifically, we are able to see that how, although women are looked at like that, right, by society, especially when they have an aesthetic like Reira's or even like Nana K's or even the woman that groomed Sheen as well. They're considered beautiful, really pretty, petite and small, ditzy and innocent, right? They're able to get away with a lot more because nobody's suspecting them. Even when you can tell them to their face, hey, like what was Nana K saying to Nobu? Hey, please do not put me on this pedestal. If you knew who I really was, you would not like me. And he's like, oh, do your worst. like, what can you do to me? How can you hurt me? I think you're going to have to hurt me. I'm not going to be able to stop liking you. And lo and behold, even after she hurt him, he wasn't able to stop liking her. But the point of the matter is they can hurt you too in more ways than one. But I think it's because of that, that double standard, the aesthetic, right? They are able to get away with a lot of stuff. And this is for men too. When men, not only, yes, if you have money, but also if you are considered attractive, right, by society, right? Not just by one person, by like society. That there has been research done on this of where, again, people can consider people who are not considered attractive by the masses more guilty than people who are actually guilty, but are just considered attractive. Although Reira is not just someone who sleeps with, a minor, and she has other stuff going on of like, self-identity issues, because we see that with Nana K as well. We see that with a couple other characters of like trying to find out who they are, trying to find out what are they doing it for, right? We see that with Reira as well, of figuring out who is she singing for, why is she singing, can she learn to sing for herself? And we're seeing post time skip so far, what we have is that she still ain't singing for herself. Because she was singing for Takumi, and even though in this argument she was saying, I'm not just singing because of Takumi, and then soon after that she stopped singing. But we also see post time skip, she's not singing anymore unless Rin is playing for her. So again, showing that she's still not singing for herself. And trust me, it's been years now. And I totally understand people are like, well, she might just still be grieving, this, that, and the third, and that's fine. But it's been years now. And she is still singing, but now she's singing when Rin, Takumi, and Nana K's son is playing. Compared to Nana O, who after the time skip, we see her still singing. And I feel like it's good to have this comparison because we see that although Nana O might have not been as much of a vocalist compared to Reira, she said she really did want to sing, right? She didn't want to be tied down. She didn't want to have kids and just be a housewife, right? She wanted to actually sing. And we see that even though with all the pain and the loss of Rin and the separation from Nana K and all that kind of stuff, she is still out there singing, right? And it's just her. And she's out there singing, right? Compared to Reira, who, although she has the vocal abilities, right? She doesn't know for real who she's singing for. And now, post time skip, right? With her voice, she knows that Takumi treasures that voice. And she's like, I just want to destroy everything that Takumi treasures, right? In fact, I've always hated the beautiful voice I was blessed with, right? But again, this is why I was saying they need to keep Reira away from Rin. Why? Because again, she wants to destroy everything that Takumi treasures. Not only that, okay? She was saying, I should have hated him. Right? I should have hated Rin. Now, why would she say that if anybody's confused? Because that is Nana K and Takumi's son. That's another reminder that the love of her life got with somebody else and had a child with someone other than her. Right? So she's like, I should have hated him. Which is a weird thing to say because the child didn't do nothing to you. Okay? But this is why if somebody is holding a grudge, a vendetta against you, and they want to destroy everything that you treasure, you should not be having them around your child, right? But now, okay, she has built this relationship with Takumi's son named Rin, and also because his name is Rin, and he plays guitar like Rin, and Rin was like her bestie, now she wants to build this bond and fill her void with him. Again, dangerous situation, grooming activities. whether that is her intention or not. Again, I don't think she was intending to groom Sheen, but that's exactly what she did. And again, selfish. It's still selfish and it's still self-serving. Because again, it's like, but it's truly unimaginable when I hold the hands of the boy who shares the same name as Ren. She doesn't even refer to him as when I hold hands with Ren, like he's his own person. She says, when I hold the hands of the boy who shares the same name as Ren, I will naturally become gentle, right? Because he's such a talented guitarist. I should have hated him, right? I'm sorry, babe, I'm getting you the thing. But she said, could I have matured on accident? Could I have matured as well? I don't like that. Straight up, I don't like that at all, right? I'm saying, like, Ren is truly a genius. And again, I feel like she's using that interchangeably of, like, Ren, the one that she used to know, and the boy, Ren. And again, asking herself, like, could I have matured as well? Or are you mature? I don't know. The fact that you're even asking yourself that, I don't know. Or is it just the fact of, like, that joy that kids bring? You know, like, you know, when people pass away, just in general, kids are, like, considered a blessing. You know, they're innocent. They bring joy. They bring love. It could be that she's feeling, because that whole last panel was selfish as hell. Weird and selfish as hell. And it reminds me of that conversation that she had with Sheen, where, again, she calling Sheen and sending him emails and stuff. And he's like, leave me alone. Like, you were the one who wanted to end things, so leave me alone. She's like, no, but I love you. Just understand. We could just talk on the phone. That will make me happy. And he's like, yeah, maybe for you, but that's going to make me want to see you. He's like, you're such a selfish woman. And she starts crying after this, but it's just like, yeah, you are selfish. Her and Nana K are selfish. There's other characters who are too, but I feel like because of their aesthetic, how they look, again, petite, you know, cutesy and seem innocent, this, that, and the third, but they're selfish. And they only care about making themselves feel good. Right? Nana K, at least she admits, well, she doesn't really admit that she's selfish out loud like that, but it's a lot of the inner monologue. We don't see too much of Reira's inner monologue throughout the manga as much as we see Nana K's. But yes, selfish. And so when Reira post time skip talking about have I grown? I'm like, no, I don't think so, because what you just said was selfish as hell. Like, you feel me? But when she looks at Ren, it's like now she feels gentle. Like, she was like holding his hand, like, it makes me feel gentle. Like, yeah, I think that's just a moment, girl. Cause, nah, you still sound selfish as hell. Again, it's all about how you feel. So now you're using somebody else to fill the void. Even in this moment, trying to use Sheen, despite his feelings, to fill your void. Nana K did the same thing to Nobu. She would do the same thing to other people, right? Using them to make her feel better. Both of them. So, I feel like that's another thing that Aizawa touches on in this manga of, like, you know, how people look, right? Masking, or just, again, people are deeper than their looks, and how people can prejudge people off of how they look, and how you would never suspect somebody to be acting a certain type of way off of how they look. And this is why I say it's very important to look at the parallels between people's appearances in the manga. There is no surprise that she made Reira look just like the woman that groomed Sheen. There's no surprise, right? Just like how she made Nana K look like Asami, or Asami look like Nana K. How she made Sachiko look like how Nana K looked like in the beginning of the manga. Like, all these things are done purposely. But yeah, I think that's my biggest thing of, like, not only do we not see her be held accountable, even though that might be in the chunk that's missing, but also this is a setup for it to happen again. And maybe not right now, okay? Right? The grooming is already happening. This is already part of it, because she's filling her void with this child. She's only singing something that's considered so special to Naoki, to Takumi, because remember, Naoki's trying to get the band back together. Right? Something that Takumi cherishes really bad, and she knows that, so she's weaponizing her voice. She wants to destroy everything that Takumi cherishes, right? That's what she said. And so now she's weaponizing that voice and only using it when his son is playing. That's weird. That's weird. Again, grown woman filling her void with this child. Grooming behavior. So now when he turns 16, because she was sleeping with Sheen when he was 15, 16. So now when he turns 16, 17, starts becoming to a young man, right? He has developed this attachment to her. You see what I mean? It's just the setup for me. That's what I really don't like. Because I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go again.